Hello. I'm gonna be working on this today. Hi, it's Katja the Arty Artist, and today I'm going to do a little bit of playing around, working on this painting of Thomas Henley, and I thought maybe you'd like to join. I really loved these glasses on him. At first I thought maybe I'd do something with his, one of his poses where he, like, after workout poses or something, because he does love, working out and tries to show autism strength. But there's something about when I was watching this video of him that really, I don't know, I just really was drawn to this. No pun intended. Yes, I know I am not using colors that are actual colors that he is, but that's because I see it in my mind's eye, you know, so I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with this. I'm a pop surrealist, so I was considering what I can do in the background. I don't know. I was going to do his hair blue, but then I realized I had already done Autistic After 40's hair blue. And this is the second, like, single, like, solo image I'm doing, so I didn't want to do all the boys with blue hair. But something about the green, I did consider purple also, but I will be using purple. I'm kind of feeling some 80s vibes going on. At first, the shirt that he's wearing in this, this is like my black and white that I'm looking at to make sure I'm getting details. At first, I thought that all of these little things were Vault Boy faces because of Fallout. I don't know. If you're watching this later, Thomas, do you like the game Fallout? Any of the Fallout? I don't remember if I ever asked you that. But they do have little faces and like little mad faces and I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a smiley face. Like these. But I kind of just want to make them mask for some reason. Like, that looks like an unhappy face. And then there's some that have glasses on them. And I kind of think maybe he picked this shirt to match that. I really like this image in black and white. So, I am preparing for my first solo art exhibition. It's going to run for 2 months from April through the last week of May. And during that time, we have Art Week. And which is in May, from May 17th through May 27th. And so like all of the surrounding areas, they sign up. You can sign up as like a venue kind of like art exhibition, or a like open studio. Like if you're having an exhibition, it's I mean, it's the same application, but one of them is an open studio. Now, I guess I could do an open studio. However, my studio is in my home, and I don't know. Then I would have to deal with the cats, and like, you know, it's not like you can get to my studio directly from outside, because my studio is in the attic. And then, you know, that interferes with the household and all that. So then I can't be in 2 places at once. So I'd have to have somebody to help me with that. I don't know. So I think just doing the exhibition at this point in time is enough. So my show, so the art week is separate from the exhibition. It just so happens that I scheduled my exhibition during the time that art week happens, which is cool because there's going to be a lot of people out, you know, going on, you know, like an art walk. Or, you know, so an art walk is like when there's exhibitions and studios that are open to the public, and you get like a map and with names and like whatever the exhibition's called and stuff like that, and like what time they're gonna be available. So it's kind of like that. So everybody, like when you fill out the application, you have to put, you know, what your work is, you know, what it's about, like an artist statement or an exhibition statement. And so if you've been following me, or you've talked to me in other live streams with other creators, you might already know, but I've been on this self-discovery journey. That I went through a really, I feel like I'm still in burnout, but it's not as like right now I even feel tired, which is kind of crazy because like I take ADHD medication, like a stimulant. It's supposed, you know, like I shouldn't be able to fall asleep like right after I took my medication, but this morning got up, took my medication, laid back down, and slept for 4 more hours. Granted, I have a sleep debt. And a sleep debt is like when you're you haven't been sleeping enough. And sorry. So I have like this skylight up here, and I have it covered because if the sun comes out, it will blind me. But right now it's like overcast, and I really like to work in natural light so you can see all the colors. Oh yes, today I am wearing Ursula, which is funny because Ponderful, I don't know if you've heard of her. She's a autistic content creator as well. So how's that lighting? I wonder how that will be. Oh yeah, right when I open this, the bright lights start to come attack me. Just FYI, ladybugs love to come in through this. I don't know how they're getting in through this thing, but there's like 2 of them crawling up there. So if one of them falls, sorry. And unfortunately, sometimes stink bugs too. But I will take ladybugs and stink bugs. My bangs are being, I don't know what they're trying to do, but it's making me crazy. And I'm trying to grow them out. And like it's going through, I guess, the ugly phase. And it's really bothering me because I have so many sensory issues. And like usually at night, if I want it curled or after I take a shower, I'll just put one of these foamy things in and roll it up and then like blow dry it. And I am pretty low maintenance when it comes to like doing my hair and stuff, except for these 2 little things my friend did for me before she moved away. But she's coming Friday. And she's a musician and all. Oh, so that brings me, I know I'm all over the place, so just bear with me. I'm going to have a curler in my hair because I can't, y'all. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with the bangs in my face right now. You know, I like did my hair up all cute-ish yesterday. I did a short on it, like on Instagram. I think I posted it on YouTube, but it's just like kind of trippy. But I went to my art collective where I sell like my prints and like different artwork and stuff. Sorry if I look weird. See my eyeshadow today? It's a little colorful, mermaidy. But yeah, Ponderful did a premiere show talking about Ariel as an autistic character, and I just thought that was so cool of an idea. And she was basically like just talking about the movie, the Disney movie, and like how it was. I'm recording right now. See you later. Sorry. So anyway, if you are interested, oops, sometimes that happens. Little drippy drip. Trippy trip. Oh. We're going to be like that today, aren't we? I do love Posca paint markers. But honestly, sometimes I'm just like, why? What's happening here? So, okay, back to the burnout thing. So, I know it's not the cleanest water. Fine, I'll get clean water. So, back to the, I have a thing full of jars of water somewhere. Okay, I'm all over the place. Yes, I know it's not water. But this is. Yes. I collect. I'm looking over here because that's where I could see myself. Maybe I should move this over here so it appears as though I'm looking at the camera. But just like looking at the camera is weird to me. It's like I need to see myself. Like I need to see myself because I'm gonna be cringing later. So if you haven't already seen it, that chien is the painting I've been. Geez, I am not the best at producing videos, y'all. Like I'm using QuickTime right now. I've used OBS. I don't know how to get. Well, actually, I'm using QuickTime, but in order to record this, I'm actually recording it on tap record. I just had an epiphany. That's how I can make my opening sequences stuff and then upload it to OBS. But you know, like when I really, I guess, should simplify my live recordings and just do kind of talking when I do that, because honestly, like I don't have a lot of followers right now, and I tend to want to do, like, I'll want to do recordings during the day. I'll want to do all this stuff, but for some reason I don't like start doing it until it's like bedtime and nobody's awake. So I have a couple of people that have come on, but both times I wish. Alright, telling them please stop messaging right now, because I already told them I'm recording, so please stop messaging me, because there's dings now in my video. Alright, let's see. Thomas, I don't know why I feel like those glasses gave me 80s vibes. So Posca paint markers are acrylic. Maybe I should write scripts. I did actually start a script today. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do something real quick. Real quick. Real quick. I'm going to try to stay on topic. how am I gonna do that? Let's ask our fidgy friend. Oh my god, guys, she is a fidget. Like, look at her. She has a squishy skirt that does remove, and a squishy head, and then her wings are like liquid and like glittery and stuff. I don't know. She's like somewhat articulate, but not like most of my other dolls, and she has a hard time sitting down because of her mushroom skirt. But I don't know, can I push it up any further than that? There's like this thing inside between her legs, and I kind of want to take it off because it's annoying me, but I don't know if it's meant to stay there. It's like screwed in there. I don't know if y'all can see that. There's like this screw thing, but I want her to sit here with us because she's cool. And there's two more that I saw. I have two right now, but I just thought she would want to hang out with us. There's two more that I saw. One of them is a mermaid that I should get. But anyway, I'm really having a hard time staying on topic here. I'm going to write myself a list. Topic. Okay. Talking about the art exhibition. All right. And Art Week. Okay. First solo show. What my series, because it's an art series. When you have an exhibition, like if it's a solo show, it's usually like not like, I want to say hello girl, I don't know, words, homologous. It's not a smorgasbord of all your artwork, okay, of everything. It's thematic, and usually it's like a current series you're working on. Well, my current series started after the worst part of my worst burnout. Okay, so I have been unemployed now. This month makes it 1 year. I had been misdiagnosed with bipolar. I want to say in like 2004, but I was diagnosed with ADHD when I was like 7 or something like that. And then I had also went to a neurologist when I was like 9, I think, something like that. And unfortunately, all of this is about like my art series. So all of the paintings that you see like up here, aside from the like Cure poster thing, all of these are part of the series. And there's more that you can't see, but they're all part of the series of me working through this burnout, and learning for, I've suspected for, I think it's been 4 years that I had autism. But the neurologist, unfortunately, right after the appointment, my mom recently had told me, as I'm trying to gather information, right? I was on a waiting list when I was in a different state, and then I came to this state, and now I'm on a waiting list, and they're supposed to be contacting me like in 13 days to make an appointment. I've been on the waiting list for several months now. But the crazy thing is, so coming out of burnout, my burnout was really bad. I couldn't talk. At all. And then when I could talk, it came out jumbled. I couldn't articulate words. I had lethargy. I might like want to do stuff in my mind, but it was kind of like soup in there, like too many things swimming around. So back to the neurologist. My mom told me immediately after we got home, like she had started feeling sick, and she like immediately came down like with a very horrible case of pneumonia. And so she only remembers like a couple of things from that appointment. And I'm not really sure why. She never like went back to get the information or like what happened. But I mean, considering that I'm 45, this was so long ago. I mean, I can't expect my mom to remember all of these little things, right? But why was I at a neurologist? Well, I mean, I do know that I was called very sensitive, very emotional. They thought I was really hyper, all over the place. I had really vivid dreams. I just played with things weird. I had a hard time making friends. And I just kind of like couldn't stay on task and focus unless it was something I, like was playing alone, But even the way I played with my toys was weird, but it just caused a lot of issues, I guess. And so they were trying to figure out what's going on with me. But the only two things my mom could really tell me about it was that the doctors told my mom she's going to have a really hard life because her disabilities are on the inside. And then that she remembered that the doctor asked me to take my shoes off, my socks and shoes off. And my mom said that she went to help me, and the doctor said, no, I want to see what she does. And that I took off my socks and shoes, set them together, and then put my socks inside of my shoes. And that the doctor said, interesting. Like literally, that's the only information I have from that. I do have a memory of being there and then putting wires all over my head and being attached to some machine. But that's about it. Now, also there was an instance when my mom said, that there was some kind of, I don't know if it was through the school or through some program or something, but I was supposed to be a part of like this study or something. But then they had called her back and said, never mind, we're only taking boys. So I don't know if that was like an ADHD thing or an autism thing or something, but getting back to the art topic, so during this whole burnout thing, I obviously lost the ability to do stuff. Like, I regressed skills in this burnout. I'm about to rub my makeup off because I forgot that I had it on there. I thought that I lost my ability to do art, is my point. And I've been doing art and music and writing my whole life. And I had lost my ability to communicate. And so I could also, my voice, I couldn't do the music, and I can't do the art, which I have MFA. And I had, lost my work, can't teach. And that was a big, big thing. Like, it was a huge accomplishment for me, but I feel like also all my accomplishments came so much later in life, and I had to work like a million times harder to achieve things than other people did. Like, I was in honors and stuff like that, but at the same time, I'd also like just not go. I would have a hard time just going. I would have a hard time like socializing and being around people and knowing the norms. And then so when I entered work, I was like, okay, teaching, the reason I decided I'll teach is because I just didn't think I could make it as an artist, because everybody always told me, most people can't make it as an artist, and it just kept like discouraging me. But at the same time telling me like you could do anything you want. Like, my mom would say that, but it's like that to me, while it was a positive thing to say, it wasn't like very instructive. Like, it didn't give me enough guidance, I guess. I lacked guidance. I didn't have a how-to, which is why, like, now that I'm older, and we have the internet, there's so many how-tos. And my brother, he taught me, if I don't know something, to just Google it. And so then when I became a teacher, I had a saying, there's no I can't, and I'm learning how to. Because like kids would say that all the time, and I would just say, oh, there's no I can, and I'm learning how to. And I taught them to help teach themselves too. Like, anything that you're trying to figure out, if you're like, I don't know how to blah, 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 change the words I don't know how to how to blah, 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 and put that in Google or whatever browser you use. And that should, like, and then if you still like have issues, find people that specialize in that subject and ask. Okay, I don't want to be using that on here. So anyway, so this art so basically the reason why I'm telling you about all these things about the art is because that's what I do. I started, I actually first, I just was trying to figure out what was wrong with me, right? Like, why everything I did just like basically like got ruined. Like, I couldn't do anything correctly, and I felt broken, and like everything I ever cared about just always fell apart. And I expressed myself through art, but I couldn't handle the like the pressure of being a teacher and everything it had, like, I had to deal with. Like, it was over sensory, over too many, like, I just wanted to, like, do the art and, like, maybe talk about it and stuff. And I actually had, thought maybe I'll start teaching at a college. I got my MFA during COVID, and even struggled through some of that because I was even, like, reprimanded one time, like, for oversharing during, like, the video calls or whatever, like, give people space, or, like, certain things that I would say, like, and, like, all these things, like, and then jobs that would let me go because I wasn't a good fit, or things they would say I would do inappropriate, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Or just being perceived in a way that I wasn't intending to be, if that makes sense. But I like, during the burnout, I lost my ability to do art, and I started watching these YouTube videos, like, sort of like 4 years ago. I'm sorry if this noise is horrible. And I'm like, oh my God, I identify with this. And at first, it's like, I try to share that with, like, my mom and other people, and their first reaction was just like, I don't think so. But, like, their understanding of what autism was much like what mine was. The difference between, like, regular public that doesn't have much education in autism and me is that I actually, while I was in college, in my undergraduate, I, like, actually started, I heard about a job that I didn't need any training for, and I just was like, okay, I'll do that for money, for a while, and it was behavior therapy, and I didn't know what it was. It was just, like, working with kids that had special needs. And so, like, my first impression of what, like, I was sold the story that, this is what autism is, and, like, through a very clinical, like, book diagnostic type of, like, thing, through the ABA lens, basically. And I found that it was very weird that I really identified with the kids much more than I did with the, like, people I worked with, and I didn't understand why. But most, not all, but most of the kids that were there had higher support needs. There were levels, but, like, there was so much repetition of tasks that we had to make them do. And I worked in a few different clinics. And I did this for, like, 6 years or something. But I just, at some point, was like, I can't deal with this. And I feel like I just feel really bad for these kids. Because I felt like I was only being told what it was like for them through the lens of the caretakers, right? The people that were in charge of these kids, not the kids themselves. The kids themselves had communication issues, but sometimes it's like I would understand what they would want, and I hate it that I was having to do these stupid tasks with them, and I was kind of like, I would question, and I'd even get in trouble sometimes. Like, I'm like, why do they need to learn this? Like why? And eventually I stopped doing that work, and I decided I'm just gonna teach art, okay? Like, but inevitably, I don't know how many people know this, but you know, yes, there are kids with autism that are in public school, and the school system, when it comes to like, I ended up putting blue in your hair anyway, Thomas. They tend to put those kids with autism, when it comes to electives, they tend to want to put them in art because, like, they're sitting at a desk. I don't know why they just think that they're not. I don't know if it's they don't think they're capable or not interested, but I think it would be great for them to be able to like be in the dance or something like that, and just like allow them to stem and get some of that energy out, and maybe they'd be like less frustrated throughout the day. But they end up putting them in a class where you know, you're sitting down focusing on like art. Now, I had a lot of an amazing autistic artist come in my classrooms. But again, it's like even the regular school system didn't get it. Like, it's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, that it's like not underestimating people and children with autism that are nonverbal, or have selective mutism, just not having enough patience, and then like talking about them as though they're not in the room with you, and then like just not observing what they want, just giving them like a choice board that's based on what you think. And I don't know, it's just, I get trying to teach them to communicate, to help them, but at the same time, I really wish that people that educated autistic children was left up to autistic adults. Like, I just feel that way. Now knowing what I know now, that's how I feel. And I just always felt like, even like the regular students, I felt like school was always kind of like a place for creativity to go and die. Like, even art, they try to make me structure it in such a way, and I'm like, it's not supposed to be like this. And I feel like there's not enough education and understanding on what actually it feels like to be autistic, and like even what autism is. And they keep changing like the definition and the diagnostic requirements, and it's because they don't understand. But if you put a bunch of autistic people together, they understand themselves. And I learned that through YouTube, and I want other people to learn it. So for my art exhibition, it's going to be about my journey of understanding autism and, self-diagnosis and accessibility, like how society can have society was built for one neurotype, and I've always felt excluded or wrong. I felt wrong. I felt like I didn't fit in. I was wrong. I was broken. I was damaged. I felt weird and unwanted and a burden and all of these things. And when we talk about kids like they're not there, they understand and they internalize this stuff. Like I totally did. But it's still not accessible. Like, some people can't walk up to someone and just ask for what they need. Like, I need to talk to somebody at the courthouse about some legal issue, and they send you through so many different departments, and no, this person said that, no, that person. It's just like that. I'm sure is hard enough for neurotypical people, but for someone like me, it's impossible. And I just burn through all my spoons, and by the time I finally get to a point where weeks and months have gone by where I keep trying to force myself to get this task done, it's like I've missed my window of opportunity. Even getting because I'm in America, in the US, and we have to pay for our own insurance. But if you're fall under certain categories, depending on what state you live in, you can get Medicaid, which is, government funded insurance, right? Well, even to get that, you have to go through so much paperwork and talk to people and have appointments and stuff. And if you don't get it done in a certain amount of time, it's you can't. It's I need help with my mental health and my physical health, and yet I have to have insurance to do that, or money, but I can't work. So even to do that is difficult because they don't make it accessible for everyone. They make it the process really hard, and where are the advocates for where are our advocates? And we've had to create this online community to advocate for ourselves, and so I want to make awareness around that, and I want to give access to the public, where they can get information about what it's like to be autistic from autistic people. And so I started first I just started doing the art because I wanted to pay, I don't know if homage is the right word, but I wanted to show my appreciation to people that have helped me understand and give language to what I'm going through, because I didn't have the words before or people that understood me. And I want to be able to make that accessible to other people, so that it becomes common knowledge. And so this series I'm going to be doing of my favorite YouTubers that have a lot of great information that I think would be helpful and useful for the public. Hey, not that, this, And so they don't just look up, Google autism, and then the first thing that pops up is organizations that autistic people really hate, because it's not their voice, and they, well, we already know all of the things about that, right? So I'm going to be making these art pieces. They're going to be part of my first solo exhibition. And I'm going to be selling stickers and prints of the artwork, holographic stickers that I showed one of them already in another video. Well, I don't know if I have the one sticker that I printed out already with me, but it's in another video. I'm going to be doing that. And then, I don't know, I kind of feel like I want some feedback on this from the community, from you guys. What other things could I have at my art exhibition that could help me with getting this accomplished? Because it's not just about money for me. It's more about yeah, it'd be great to sell some artwork, but really and truly, it's become something different for me. I thought I lost my ability to do artwork, and through processing all the things that I was learning about myself by having the movie Kung Fu Panda, where his whole life he thought he was the only one like that, and then well, I don't want to spoil it if you haven't seen it, but it's finally finding other people. This is metallic pink. I don't know why you can't see it. I'm gonna turn this light on, but it's a metallic pink. I don't know why I'm giving him so much pink, but I did want to have an 80s vibe on him. I was just thinking about some glow-in-the-dark paints. But I thought about having printout list or something of all the YouTubers, their handles or their channel names or whatever, so that and then maybe a brief description of what they cover. And on each of the artworks and the stickers, it's going to have the at, and then the, this one will say at Thomas Henley UK, and then I have on Mike's Autistic After 40, I have his handle on there. So people can if they get a sticker, then they think it looks cool. Maybe it starts off with just, this sticker is cool, I want to see what this guy's about. Or maybe they'll actually listen to my artist talk that I'm going to have, which I'm really kind of nervous about, but also this is a passion. It's two of my biggest passions put together. So maybe I'll be able to get through it. But I think bringing awareness to neurotypicals is fundamental for change. And yes, I do believe there needs to be change. There needs to be accessibility, because for some of us, it's not that the disability is being autistic. It's that the disability comes from the world not being built to include us. You know, it's like, I mean, there's wheelchairs for people that have wheelchairs, and there's Braille for blind people, and then there's like ASL interpreters for deaf people. But it's like, where's the accessibility for people with autism? Why does the grocery store have to be so brightly lit constantly? Why do they have to play the music so loud? Why? I really wish someone would invent something that could block smells, because I really have an issue with smells. And oftentimes when I leave the grocery store, I get a migraine. I literally get a migraine, and I'm spent for the day, even if I was only in there 30 minutes. And I hate that. I'm the same way. I would rather order food, even though I would like the idea of going to a restaurant, but it never ends up being that way. Like, it's too loud, it's too bright. I have to talk to people. I'm being, I don't know, just sensory overload. And I just wish there were more sensory friendly places. And it's like, I'm having to walk around with sunglasses. I had to put contacts in just to wear sunglasses, or I actually do need to get prescription sunglasses, but I have to wear a hat. I have to wear earbuds or headphones, and, you know, like, all my sensory items with me, and I have to carry so much more stuff than other people do. And it's like, obviously I stand out, but I've gotten to a point where, like, I don't care. Fine, I'll stand out. I am different. And I tell people now I'm autistic. If I say something that seems rude, I most likely did not mean it that way. And if you're confused about what I mean, can you just, like, say something? Because but, like, really, the only opportunity I've had to do this so far is the artist collective that I am at, and they've been very, like, accommodating and helpful, and, like, just awesome, you know. So that, and my YouTube family online have been fundamental to my road to a diagnosis so far. And yeah, I did go through a period of imposter syndrome, But I really find that hard to believe that now, just simply because, like, it's so much easier to talk to people that are autistic than it is other people. And there's way too much that, like, I feel like they basically, like, went in my head and, like, literally was reading my mind, you know? There's just too many similarities. And I've even cross-referenced other things I could have been diagnosed with that have, like, crossovers. I've done extensive research. Trust me when I say I've done years of extensive research, and here is the binder of research and all of my findings that I will be bringing with me. Okay? So, like, when people are, like, discounting people that are self-diagnosing, I'm not just, like, going to WebMD or going to TikTok. This is, like, you know, and even still with all that, and all of my evidence to support my claim that I think that I'm autistic, I still feel like I didn't put enough in there. Why? Because I have this fear that I'll be misdiagnosed again. And that's a trauma. And the messed up thing is people don't realize, because they don't understand it, that we all don't have the same kind of brains. Sorry if this is loud. Cover your ears. Okay, done. All right, so, I mean, I've seen what it's like through the ABA lens. I've high masked my whole life. Wow. I have always felt like I was different from others. I didn't understand a lot of things that other people would say, oh, that's inappropriate, or like, why is this topic taboo, or why can't I just tell anybody I meet the truth? Like, why do we gatekeep the truth? I don't understand that. I still don't understand it. Because I don't understand why people would want to do other people harm. I don't get that either. I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand what you gain from that, or how you derive pleasure from it, or whatever. Like, I don't get it. So, on one hand, like, the autistic part of my brain is very, like, naive and trusting, and like, I'll just, especially as a kid, I would just be myself no matter who I was around. But then, like, as I started masking, I had a hard time. Like, I had to, like, put on the mask and, like, just become that mask, I guess. And so it would confuse people. Like, why are you acting like that now? And it's like, well, because I'm a teacher now. I have to act this way, you know? And it's just frustrating. Like, it felt like I could never, like, just please people. Like, they always want something different. And when I give it to them, it would feel like that wasn't right either. It's because it's not natural to like be anything but yourself. But being myself meant being something that other people might not relate to. And if they couldn't relate to it because they couldn't understand, I mean, we could still appreciate things that we don't completely relate to, right? But I think the problem came down to not understanding. It's the same thing with art. Like, there's art pieces and artists and like art periods that I didn't really care for. I didn't like the aesthetic of it or whatever. But then when I like did art history, and I learned about it, I like gained this new like appreciation and perspective and like respect for that art and why it was necessary for it to exist in in the time it was created, why it was important, because contemporary art in its time, it's meaningful. It speaks for the time. It speaks for change a lot. It speaks for awareness, and I love that about art. But if you don't give it a chance, and when I say give it a chance, I don't mean just go and look at it, okay? That's not getting to know a person when you just like observe them from afar and you're like, you're weird. That's not giving him a chance. That is observing and judging. And honestly, a lot of like I feel like that, okay, you're going to have to go away because you're not obeying. I feel like that's like what ABA was like. It's based on observable behavior, right? So it's not based on the child's feelings or thoughts or desires. No, it's based on what is prescribed as normal via the institution's lens or what the parents' desires are to make to fix someone, to make them different, to make them the same even. I know that sounds contradictory, but to make them different than what they are and to make them the same as everyone else, to blend in, to camouflage. Where's the beauty in that? Where's the art and humanity if we all look the same? Who wants to drive down the street and every single, like, who goes on a nature walk and just wants to be surrounded by the same type of tree, or like every flower is the same exact color, shape, and size, and or there's very little variation? Like, why would you want that? And yes, I overlap and go back. I do that on purpose. It creates like layer and kind of fuses the pieces, subjects and background. Where's the beauty in that? Why does everyone need to be the same? And like when you're building a company, having different types of minds, they have their own strengths. And that's the same way with society. Like, if you listen to Temple Grandin, it says she said the same thing. Like, the world needs variation. And, just... I've always felt that way about religion too. Like, why do people try to change other people's religions? Like, let it's making them happy. Let them believe what they want. Like, it's a belief. Like, honestly, you can argue all day and night with me about this if you wanted to, but I'm just going to tell you right now, one of my special interests for many years was and still is theology. And I found out that there's so many crossovers with religion, with different types of religions, and religion and government. Religion means to bind, and government is to bind and control, and they're used that way for different reasons. Like, you have to have a system of order, and religion provides order, and though, like, countries might not be controlled, like all countries might not be controlled by religion anymore, but it still provides a set of principles and rules, and a way of coping with life for some people. And it's like, I don't understand why people would want to take that away from someone else and then, like, get them so upset about it that they feel like they have to defend themselves. It's the same way with people that of different neurotypes. Like, why does everyone need to be the same neurotype? Why does there need to be a cure? You know, like, people used to send their kids to apprentices instead of putting them in a school, like just a regular school. You know, people didn't just, like, spend their entire childhood until they were 18 and then they went and found a job. No, they started young. Like, master painters would get children, like, they'd get an apprentice child to come and they would help gather the ingredients in nature for the pigments for their paints, and then over the years they would learn how to do the things that the master did, right? And I don't see why we don't still do that apprenticeship. Like, that seems people should do their special interest as their contribution to society. That's what I think. And it's hard to do that. It's hard to do that because we have structured our society to not work that way. And I'm not saying that I have, like, this perfect idea of, like, what it should look like or how to get to that point, or that even parts of what we have right now are all bad. But what I'm saying is, it's not all inclusive, and it isn't all fair. And everybody has and should have a place in society. And there's people that believe that, like, weakness and unfavorable in their eyes traits should just be weeded out. But I think I think that's stupid. But I also think that we learn through challenge. Oh, is it going to be hard for neurotypicals to make accommodations for us? Maybe. Maybe not. Some of the things are real easy. Don't use fluorescent lights. Use amber lighting. Have more shopping hours where they have different lightings. Like, some stores do have accessibility hours, but not all of them. There's this weird sound, and I don't know what's happening. I can't tell if it's outside or in here. Locating where sounds come from is hard for me. But these are all things that I think are important to talk about, and I just never really had anyone that could listen without interjecting and saying how wrong I am, or like how it's not feasible, or like tell me that I'm just ranting now, or that I need to calm down, or that that's not how the world works, you know, or like you're not special, or your disability, you can't use your disability as an excuse. Like, stuff like that. I've like heard that a lot, and just things like that. And well, guess what? I can make a video and I can post it and people can watch it, and you can say whatever you want. I prefer that it be constructive, but I'm just being, honest about what I'm thinking. And I don't know everything, but I do know what it's like to be different, and I do know that people that are autistic are telling you online in video what it's like on the inside, and if you want to help make the world a more inclusive, better place for different neurotypes, then I urge you to get with educating yourself on it. Like, if you're interested in that, if you care, and I really just, like, please don't say that you care if you're not gonna actually. I really don't like how people will say I care and then just like completely do nothing. I hate that. These people, some of them, they can't work. Some of them, they can work. Some of them use augmented, they use other means to speak, like so that the voice might sound robotic or something, to communicate in their videos. Some people they might seem neurotypical to you. They might be high masking in their videos. But the thing is we shouldn't have to mask anymore. It's not like we're not human. It's not like we're freak aliens. Not that being an alien, I think, would necessarily be bad either. But it's just like with gender and race and any other creed, religion, and all those things. Like, we have a right to exist, and the world's big enough, like, to be shared and be inclusive. And if you care about that, then please, like, there's plenty of people that are speaking about this. I have a list, in fact, of people I can think of right now. Thomas Henley, UK, Autistic AF, which means Autistic After 40, Mom on the Spectrum, Orion Kelly, Dana Anderson, Purple Ella, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Like, I can't think off the top of my head right now. Neurodivergent, Jennnt, like neurodivergent, but with the name Jen in it. Woodshed Theory. But the first person that I ever watched and started going, well, I might be autistic actually, was Paige Lael. And then there's people like that have been, bullied off of social media platforms, which is very sad and crazy. And there's kind of like abandoned YouTubers, like pages or channels, like, but I'm still like watching their videos, and I'm like, I wish they would come back because they had a lot of good things to say. Like Chloe Hayden is an actress and very open about her autism. And then there's people that were very misunderstood in Hollywood, that people didn't even know that they were autistic and treated them, crazy, like Courtney Love, who is actually one of my special interests as a teenager. And I still love her music. And I love her even more now that I know that she's autistic. I'm autistic, now what? Meg, like I have her here. And yeah, so there's like a lot of people. And I'm sorry if I forgot anyone's name, but like, it's just, there's a lot. And like I'm working on these art pieces. I want to make stickers. I want to spread awareness, and then hopefully people will like go and watch the videos. Maybe they'll become passionate, or at least compassionate about the topic. Like, at the very least, have a better understanding of what it is to be autistic. And change doesn't always happen overnight. So, but this is something I can do. I can make art. I'm compelled to make this art. I'm making this, and that's what I'm doing with it. And I'll have like, maybe I'll make some like I'm gonna make like freebie stuff too to give away to people. And I'm definitely gonna give out like the like list. I don't want to put too much on my plate and then not be able to deliver, so I don't want to do like an email list like kind of thing. But I would like have a stack of like flyers. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna put on it other than like YouTubers information. Maybe some websites that are helpful. I don't know. And then I'm probably going to be videotaped during my my art talk. But yeah, this is what I do. And before now, my art was, I think, primarily only about me and my specific journey and how I feel different, and I have felt traumatized and don't fit in, and about my life and stuff, you know. And I would speak about childhood trauma and things like that, but none of, like, those things are valid to me still. But childhood trauma and abuse happens far more to neurodivergent people than to neurotypical people, because of our struggles with social cues and social standards and body language and, you know, just all that. And I think these are all important things to talk about and spread awareness about. And I think that eventually, like things will change. I think people will, I don't know like when it will happen, but I mean, change happens all the time. It's like human social evolution or whatever. Society like changes their norms or things that they're accepting, and then there's like the people that are like hardcore traditionalist and they don't want to change or accept things that are different. But I mean, the thing about it is that there's always been different people with different neurotypes, and there's always been different people with different beliefs and different genders and different everything. And, you know, there's always been different races and different religions, and there's always been people with different values, and all these people have reasons for their beliefs, and they're valid. Well, there might be some things like I don't agree with, like, you know, serial killers, for example. But, you know, I think I'm very grateful, to be honest. I'm very grateful that I found the online creators to be very welcoming to me. And yeah, I want other people to benefit. So, you know, it could be that the people that are interested in my exhibition, this is even saying if anybody even comes to my exhibition and is even interested in like what I have to say, but I think the people that would be the most interested would be people that, one, are neurodivergent, or two, don't know that they are and it resonates with them, or three, they know somebody that they think would benefit from it, right? So, but that's a place to start, right? And, you know, like my one of my favorite quotes is by Helen Keller, who was both blind and death, and people were hopeless about her, and she became a very renowned writer with the support and help of her teacher and mentor. So I'm gonna tell you this quote, but then I think I'm gonna take a break. So this will be the first session of me drawing Thomas Henley. But so yeah, her quote: "I am one, but still I am one." And I might not be saying this verbatim. I am but one, but still I am one. I cannot do all things, but I can do something. And because I cannot do all things, I will not refuse to do the something that I can do. All right, thanks for stopping by. I'm Katja, the Auti artist, and I hope if you liked this, if it was helpful or resonated with you, that you like and subscribe, and please also support the other amazing YouTube artists out there. And I'll see you later. Bye.